recipe, and Phoenix Bonsai Society has always taken the thought that we start with the less invasive sprays and go up to the more chemically noxious ones. So we try to keep things as safe as we can. This plant oil spray works very well, and it won't work on fungus, but it works on just about everything else. And so there's directions on how to use it. You can get it out of the ingredients are from your kitchen, so it's pretty safe. And some people wash off the spray. I tend to leave mine on for the reason that a lot of times with pests, they're laying eggs. And so the kitchen oil, you could use vegetable oil, you can use neem oil. You leave that on because it's going to smother the eggs. So that is the reason I don't wash mine off until I see new growth. And then I'll know that the tree's getting strong enough to take good care of itself. But you can spray this almost any time. If you're going to have your tree out in the sun, it can burn it because it does have oil in it. So you might want to pull it into the shade for a few days while you're tending to it. The second handout, I did this back when I was in Washington. I must have had a lot more time on my hands. It's called a bonsai tree tracker, and a lot of the ones you can get online now. And this one is just nice because it's got, I can't think of anything it doesn't have on here. The only thing I did was up in Washington, I had winterization thoughts to do on the trees, which I guess now you can still use that because you could use it for your tropicals. You would want to know whether you want to bring them in the garage, if you want to bring them in the house when it gets cold, or your succulents. So I went ahead and kept that on there. And then it's got a thing for sun tolerance too, how for that species, how much sun it can take. So you could write up a little thing on every tree you have and put it in a book, and then you would have it. There's also a thing online called the Bonsai Album. I also use that, and that's an app that you can put on your phone. I don't find it quite as easy. I find myself not using it a lot of the time just because it's having to go in there and do it. But if you could have this book with you, you could flip right to it. There's also the other thing we do to keep track of our trees when you start getting more than one, of which you will quickly, is, right, Alan? And they have little, you can get them off of Amazon, they're called embosso tags, and they're little metal tags, and you don't have to write a lot on them, but what really helps to write on them is the year you've repotted them. And so that saves a lot of time and energy. I can repot something, and a week later I won't remember that I repotted it. So just having that little tag there, I'm like, okay, I don't need to worry about that, I just did it. The third thing I have is the bonsai style sheet. And this is all the different styles you can make out of a bonsai. And it's kind of a handy sheet to have. The thing you want to keep in mind with this page is that don't try to make a tree, don't fight a tree to make it the style. Some trees are just never going to be in one of these styles. Some are more adapt to one style than another, so don't fight yourself on that. It'll be a never-ending battle. So that's helpful. The last part on this is the wire guide. We got this from Boone, and when you first look at it, it's going to be very confusing, and you're not going to think it's much, and it looks like something you couldn't do. But if you actually study this, you'll notice that they have wired it in different colors. There's brown, there's red, there's yellow, there's white, and if you look real closely, there's even green. And this is very helpful. This is proper wiring. This is a whole nother class. A lot of people think they know how to wire, and I've been doing this for 20 years and I still have trouble wiring. So it's just something that comes more naturally the longer you do it. It's a thought process. So practice makes perfect. The only other thing I want to say on this sheet, and I haven't found it, this isn't that great of a copy, but I haven't found one better, is when you're wiring a tree, the actual way to look at this page would be having these branches coming towards you. Because when you're wiring, you don't want to be off to the side wiring. You want to wire with that coming straight at you. So if you hold the sheet this way and look at it, it would be the proper way to do that. And then on this side I have the rules of bonsai. This is actually a 1997 copy. I love this. I've never found anything better. It's very straightforward for new beginners. It tells you by number what is good and bad about a bonsai and how to find what you're looking for. Example, the height should be 6 times the caliper of the trunk. So people never know how high or short to make their bonsai. Well, you can look at the trunk and go up 6 times, and that's approximately what your bonsai height should be. Trunk should lean towards the viewer, trunk should flare. There's just all kinds of little rules in here that help you, I think, it's just one of the best little sheets. It tells you everything you need to know about making a good bonsai, and he explains it very well. The last thing is the fundamental bonsai design, and this is from Ed Clark in North Carolina, and he talks exactly the opposite as this guy. So you get your yin and your yang out of bonsai. So this guy says applying the rules where none exist. So this goes into finding your front, finding your triangle. Triangle bonsais are always in a triangle. Doing your number branching, the base formula for construction of a bonsai. And last but not least, I like the tree never read the book. Because when you write these out, it's like you're writing this in the perfect scenario of what a tree should be like. And then you get your tree and you're like, wow, it doesn't look the same at all. So that's where the artistic design comes in play. But these are just a few conceptual ideas that they've tried to put on paper that I think they help out a lot. And then the fourth thing on this side, you guys will get a specific sheet. One of them's for olive, and one of them's for the Chinese elm. This is from S&S Bonsai Studios in Colorado, and this guy closed down shop a few years ago, and I harassed him for about 6 months trying to get all these because I think they are the best care sheets you can find. I don't even know if they're out there anymore, but I was lucky enough. I think I copied as many of them as I could. Put me in jail. But I like these because it's pretty explanatory. It talks about the cultivars, it talks about how to propagate them, lighting, temperature, watering, little tips about them. And the thing that you don't find on a lot of care sheets is when to repot them. And for us, you have to realize in Phoenix that we are in a different environment than anywhere else in the United States. You can go to Texas, Florida. They're all very, very hot places, even some parts of California. I have a heat zone map, and I'll try to send it out in the next newsletter. And it'll show you, because a lot of things will show you the zone maps of what you can grow for that zone. Well, this is actually a heat map for plants. And you're going to be very surprised at the Arizona area compared to the California area, because we have a lot of people in California that tell us it's just as hot there as it is here. And it is true to some extent, but you're not going to find any place in the United States that keeps their nighttime temperatures like we do. And that's the big hard part about growing bonsai down here, is during the summer, our trees do not have a time to recuperate. So they're really performing at their best the best they can for Phoenix, and so we're so lucky if they survive through this summer. And don't feel bad if you lose a tree. I've been doing this for 20 years. I still lose trees. So it's just part of the game. It's part of the learning process. You're not torturing your trees. You're giving your trees very good care, better than they would get anywhere else. So I just want to welcome you all. I hope all this helps. I have a cute little story I wanted to say. You know, we just came back from LA a couple of weeks ago, and we got through the day going to all the nurseries and everything, and we were sitting in a restaurant, and I was sitting across from one of our new beginners from last year, and I was just listening to him, and he was talking to the lady next to him who'd been a member for years. He had more knowledge as a first-year student than she did, and I was just shocked. I was so happy. It was amazing. So I think these classes help, and I hope you guys enjoy them. I've only got one last thing to say before we pick our trees, is that this will be doing the spring workshop, I think around February 11th. It might be a little bit early, but I think we'll be okay. These are the pots they'll be going in. That workshop, I believe, is $40, so not quite as much as this one if you bought an elm. But it's more important than this workshop, because we're going to show you how to do proper repotting, tying it into the pot, showing you how to tie down your screen, and proper soil, which is so important here, more than anywhere else, because we have to water more frequently than other places, and you want your soil to be free draining. So the spring workshop is a lot of fun. I show you guys how to do the soil, we mix it, and I think once you finish those 2 classes, you'll have a full bonsai that has been worked from the beginning, from today, to when we repot it in spring, and that's the whole process you need to know for doing a bonsai properly. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have a lot of fun today. So let's go ahead and pick. This is for the olives. So if you want to just come up and pick, if you got an olive, come up and pick a number, and then I'll hand you your packet, and you can take your tree back. Those are mixed up. You'll have to look.
Yeah, I'm a gardener. The hardest part. Oh yeah, I'm the gardener. I've been here.
Okay, if you have an elm, you can come up and pick your number. Tommy, are you Rodriguez? Okay. Come here for everybody. Okay. Oh. Okay. How are you this morning? How are you? I don't hear. I didn't hear her call us. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I thought still on.
How are you doing?
To show you
That's why I do that. And
That's going to be your table.
also, you guys, if you could take a before and after picture of your tree.
We'll move it down here.